Okay, and good afternoon. Let's look through it's basically Friday's trading. I only had I carried through a trade from Thursday down to, and I'll show you exactly why I carried this trade through. Here's number one. You can ignore all this stuff over here. I went short up here. Okay, the reason why, and you can see that level right there, which is at 39.36. I went short about 39.3475, which is about a point lower than that. I saw all this consolidation. You can see the consolidation right in this area, right here. Okay, consolidation. They tried to push it up. Here's value area high. That was at 39.36. That was already established. You can see the back and forth where they're where the big institutions are looking to go short. They're just building their short positions there. And let's see if I can find my rectangle tool. No, that's a retracement tool. There it is, rectangle. So you can see right here. You can see this entire area right there. This is just all this consolidation. And see the volume profile here? You can see it just building value. Okay? They came back down, came back up to retest that, and that was in Friday. That was let's see, this was like what, around 8:23 in the evening. This was all Eastern time. And so they were basically pretty obvious they're going to sell it off. All they're doing is just building value for the short up here, just consolidation. That's where, when you see consolidation like that, see all that up and down stuff in a very fairly tight range. That's just institutions building value either for long or for short. Came back up here. This served two purposes right here. Number one, this served to get guys out that were at 39.36 and they shorted right in this area here, and then they came down. They came back up here. This was to catch the guys that set their stop loss at break even, or they set their stop loss maybe a little bit up further, up where this low volume node was there. So you can see, you can see where they almost came up to that low volume node at right around 39.38, almost right up to there, and then sold it off. So if you just gritted your teeth and held that position at 39.34, down here you can see got out. I reversed it at 39.0225. The market came down a little bit. There was value area low at, where is that? 39. What? 39.0150, 39.02. So I had to sit through a little bit of pullback right there, just a little bit. But you can tell again, you're trying to push it down. See how steep these are? See how steep these highs and lows are? And then all of a sudden they start flattening out right there. Remember what I said yesterday or earlier today? They start flattening out here, the bottoms were flattening out, which basically means they couldn't push it down. You can see the volume profile right there where they were building, they had some volume here, and then it just petered out right there at that low volume node, which not so coincidentally, there's the end of that guy right there. Nobody was willing to sell. They had no sellers down there. And people ask, well, how can you tell if there's no buyers and no sellers? Well, just put a volume profile on it and look. You can tell. I mean, there's nothing here. So there's no volume at those prices. Okay? So what are they going to do? They're gonna, they're basically coming down here building volume for the long. So what did they do? They got into the long, and this was about 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that, 5:11 in the morning. They came down. They started buying it up. Well, where are they going to go? Well, where did they go? Where did they start shorting it on Thursday? Right up here, right up in that value area. So I thought, you know what? Value area high for this particular zone right there because we know all the markets do is just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They, they're bill volume and they sell it, bill volume down here and buy it, bill volume up here and sell it, bill volume down here and buy it, that sort of thing. So I thought, well, that value area high would be reasonable. That would have been what, about 39.36. So, and if you look up here, you'll see a nice little volume node right up there, 39.35.75, 39.36. So what did they do? They bought. There's a little pullback here. You can see those low volume nodes. See where that volume profile is there. See the end of that volume profile? Well, that's where they sold it off to, and then turned it right back around. So if you were down in this position, you could work those. You could work those, deep pullbacks and stuff if you wanted to, or you could just hold it. So you're, holding it all day long. I held it all day long. Well, guess what? Gee, wow, where did we come to? Where did the market come to? Right at the very end. Right at the very end of the day. This is Friday. Right at the very end of the day. Wow, there's our Olfin 39.36. Bam, there's that 39.36. P&L 135 ticks. So as you can see, it was a very logical, rational place, a logical, rational position to build. To recap, here's all this right here. Here's all that consolidation, right? All that consolidation back as the market opened on Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening when it reopened. That all he did was sit there and build value and build value and build value. That's a great time for a short because there's no volume up here. They were able to push it up for the short or for the long position. They were able to. There's no sellers up here. Here's one more time where that was an attempt to see if we can get more buyers up here. They couldn't lure more buyers up there. They ran stops for the people that had gotten in, in this little value area here. So they got taken out. So unless they were, let's say we're screwing around at midnight, let's say we're watching their charts at midnight, there was really nothing here. They got taken out. They got their stops taken out anywhere from here. If you had a trailing stop, this is what I don't like about trailing stops. You got a trailing stop down here. Okay, you're trailing. Well, gee, you just got if you were trailing it, you just got taken out there, or you got taken out there at value area low. You're not making a whole lot of ticks. So instead of making, what was that? Whatever that, I can't see that. Okay, 100. So instead of making 130 ticks, you're just making this little bit of amount. Which, hey, you know what? I mean, if it pays the bills, it pays the bills. That's cool. But you can see where they were building that. There's the retest. There's a pullback retest if you weren't in that. Okay, if you'll notice, they came right back, and if you want to see what's going on, if you want to see what the future holds, look to the left. You can see what did they do in the past. They came back up here. Here's a low volume node here. They blew right past it. They blew right past it here. They came down. There is a perfect example right there at that price level at 28.50. Support becomes resistance. Support becomes resistance. Okay, so there was a very nice little support level there, but they couldn't hold it. They sold off. They came back up to it, okay, and then sold off from there. Well, you can see that line. They came right back up to that what was that high volume node, whatever that high volume node is right there. It's about 39.29.50 or so. Came right back up to that high volume node. You can see on the volume profile where they traded a lot of volume, tried to push it up. Somebody was trying to cap it at that level. And then here we go. We sold off. So even if you'd gotten in at that particular point, say 39.29 down to 39.02, where right into this, this area here, either value area, lower POC, that's a nice little chunk of change. What was that? You're looking at, say 39.29, even down in this level, in this area, and you knew about this because there it was right there on the chart. So where they bounced it before, it was a very, very, very good chance that they were going to bounce it again. So, so you're looking at 30 points right there. That was a nice chunk of change. That's a $1,500 move right there. And then back up. Here we go, back up again. Back up, and just, you could have just said, okay, and that's exactly what I did is I put my target. I said, well, what's the likely target? Right there. there's value area high where this mess all started. Where did we go? Right there, and actually pushed a little farther beyond that. You can see there's a where that is, where value area high is, and it was the market was right above that. There's a node right there on that volume profile. Gee, there's a lot of volume traded right there. Gee, perfect place to get out. I could have gone short there. I didn't think about it. It's Friday. I just want to let it go up there and work its way out. If I'd have been sitting in front of the computer, maybe I would have done that. But you're looking at cash market close right there. They pushed it up a little bit, then they came right back down, right back into this value area. Anyway, I hope this helped you guys. I'm just trying to get very detailed so you guys can look at these charts and you can see what's going on. You can see where value's building. It's very, very, if you think about it, it's very logical. Value building up here, value down here. You look left, what was down here? There was value, and then it all petered out, that low volume node. Where did they come down to? Almost that low volume node right there, value area low. So even if you weren't in all this short right here, you pop in at 5:30 in the morning and go, hey, well, there's value area low right there. Gee, I think I'll take a swipe at that. Value area low, and then just ride it back up wherever you wanted to go. You could go to, there's value area high right there, if you wanted to. That's 39.15. That's almost 10 points. That's $500 for the day, right there, and you could have just gotten out. That was, let's see, which turned into that value area high turned to VPOC. There's value area high moved up on that move, but even if you put it there at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're out. So you sat there and you put the trade in, and it went against you a little bit. So what? If you're trading micros, so what? If you're trading minis on a decent sized account, so what? But it pulled back. See, it pulled back, and it didn't come back down here. Pull back. There's still buyers right there, and you can see if you draw a line, that's nice right there. It started to peter out a little bit right there. So you could have said, well, that's value area high. Maybe I'm going to get out. Okay, all right. Well, value area high from the previous, or value area low from the previous. You might have gotten out there at 39.08. Okay, well, that's 6 points. Hey, that's not too bad for less than an hour's worth of trading. Well, let's see, 520. What was that? 528 to 532 or so, 556, something right in there. So less than 30 minutes worth of work. You need about $300. So trading on the on the minis, $30 on the micros. And that's halfway. $30 on the micros is halfway toward paying for your account for the entire month. So there you go. Anyway, hope this helped. See y'all.